最近 TikTok 上出现一个热门话题，为什么现在的外国人越来越离不开中国了？甚至有人说，离开中国回国简直像是一种流放。今天我刷到了几个刚回国或即将离境的外国博主的自白，看着他们在视频里因为付不了款、打不到车，甚至因为洗手间没冰块而抓狂的样子，我才意识到，原来最狠的文化输出不是说教，而是这种让他们无法回头的生活方式侵略。我是小满，今天带大家看看这些外国人到底在哭什么。
大家好，我是 Sam. We've just come back from our holiday in China, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling. Like, genuinely struggling. Because in China, you don't need cash, you don't need a card, you don't even need to think. Everything is on your phone. You want to buy food? Beep. You want to get a taxi? Beep. You want to buy a bottle of water from a random street vendor at 2 a.m? Beep. Even splitting the bill is like 2 seconds. No awkward maths. No I'll send it later. It's done. Fast forward to the UK. I walk into a shop feeling confident. I pick up my drink, go to pay, and suddenly it's like a history lesson. Cash or card? Cash? Card? Wait, my card doesn't work. Contactless limit? Declined. Chip and pin? I forgot my pin. Apple Pay? Terminal's not working. Now there's a queue forming behind me. People sighing. I'm sweating. My wife's looking at me. Like, how did you survive before China? And I'm just standing there, thinking. In China, this transaction would have literally taken just 1 second. One. And here I am, fighting for my life over a £2 drink. I swear, once you get used to mobile payments in China, there is no going back. It's just too smooth, too easy, too addictive. Now every time I hear cash or card, I feel personally attacked. Tell me honestly, if you've experienced both, which one do you prefer, China or the UK, when it comes to paying for things?
One of the many reasons I love China is they really think of everything. If you walk into pretty much any dressing room when shopping to try clothes on, they will always have shoes for you. Just some simple little slides so you're not barefoot. Just genius.
This is exactly what I mean when I say that China is so much less stressful than anywhere else I've ever lived. Because, for example, what the point when I said that I can get taxis whenever I want, wherever I want. If it's raining, I don't have to stress about going out in the rain and taking public transport. I can just call a taxi because it's affordable enough that I can just call a taxi. Or if I'm stressing about what am I going to cook, I can just order in. Or obviously I can get food delivered as well for a relatively good price. Or if my apartment is messy, I can just hire a cleaner to come and clean for me. Or if I'm really stressed, I can take a holiday. All of these things in China make my life so much stressful and so much more enjoyable. And it's also the buying power here. I know I'm on a great salary. Also, it's just that I can do so much more with my money when I'm here and more enjoyable things. You know, not having to check my bank account, not having to live paycheck to paycheck. I did when I first moved to China. I was paycheck to paycheck because I was on a lot less than I am now. But it's just, yeah, when she says money isn't everything, but it makes life less stressful, that is it, to a T. Also, I'm so happy that you love your little life in China. I love mine too.
Maybe I'm a white trash, but I've never been to a restaurant that has ice in a wash basin, golden toilets, urinals. I'm not showing you this right now. Okay, that's the most I can show you. Flowers in a toilet.
And walls made of marble.
Maybe I'm not used to good things, high-end lifestyle, but this is a lot of gold. This is ice in a wash basin, flowers over my head, and I'm not in the Dubai. The door is also golden. Look at that. The whole thing is gold. Yo, Shenzhen, China.
Here we have soap. Here water. Damn. And then I guess you can do the ice plunge with your face. Wash is pretty refreshing. Wash is pretty nice. Maybe that's why it's here. Maybe that's the purpose. Anyway, pretty cool. I don't know what you think about it. Let me know. Is it a regular fancy restaurant or is just me being a peasant?
China is just so technologically advanced. This hand washing station in Shake Shack, you just put your hands in. It starts with soap, then it moves on to water. And then once you're all done washing, it will pop out with the paper towel. It is perfectly timed so that way you end up with nice, fresh, clean hands.
I just want to talk about China, and this is where I start to get emotional because my time here has been phenomenal. Like, I actually can't put it into words how crazy my life has been here. You guys have seen it through TikTok, but you guys haven't really fully lived it and experienced it like I have every single day. It's truly, like, I don't know how to explain living here. Every day I woke up here, it was something new. Walking the streets, you're always going to see something crazy. You're going to see people getting haircuts on the side of the road. You're going to see people eating noodles and dumplings out of this crazy looking shop. You're going to see all sorts of cool things. And then on top of that, I got to visit so many amazing places. I went to Shanghai, saw all the cool futuristic things. I went to visit my friend in Xichang and got to show you the Yi people and the Yi culture. I went to Chongqing, got to experience the cyberpunk. I went to so many different cities here in China, and I'll forever be grateful. I also got well connected with a lot of the artists here. I was with very, very famous rappers and musicians here, and I'm also grateful for that. I also think I learned a lot living here, and I matured a lot. One thing I learned from the Chinese people is how reserved they are. They think before they act, and they think before they speak. And that really meant a lot to me. That slowed my pace down a little bit. And I really got to learn a lot from the people here. And if you've never had the opportunity to live in a different country, I highly recommend it. You don't know what it holds. And I still don't know what more China holds. But seeing the life here, experiencing all the different cultures, seeing how people truly live on a day-to-day basis is something that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. And I know I'm leaving, but China will always feel like home. I can always come back, and I know how to navigate through life here. I know how to settle here if I wanted to come back ever again. I know how life works here. And for all of you guys who have been following the China journey, I thank you so, so much. But I am leaving. So if this makes me lose followers, whatever, because if all you want to see is China, then okay, follow somebody else. But I will be going to many other places, and I will be living back in Miami. Now I'll probably turn this camera off and cry again because I feel so emotional right now, and it's so, so hard leaving. But I'll never look back, and I will always be thankful for my time here. And I don't really know where this video is going. I just wanted to turn on the camera and to let you guys know how I feel. But I just wanted to leave off with one last message. And as cliche as it is, I just want to say, follow your dreams. Because I'm just a kid from a small town in Nevada, and you guys have seriously changed my life. And don't listen to any of the negativity. I dealt with doubt time and time again. I had to make so many sacrifices. I had to leave so many people, so many things that I was comfortable with to start a whole new life here. And I'm forever grateful, and I would do it 100 times over. Like, I'm so sad to leave. You guys don't understand. But it's a bittersweet feeling. This chapter closes, but the next one opens. And yeah, that's it. I don't really know what more to say. But if you made it this far, I love you guys so much. God is good always. God is very good. And that's it, man. I'll see y'all in Thailand. As always, you guys know what to say. I love you guys. Be safe. Peace.
Why am I obsessed with China? That's the question, and I received this question different times in private messages, and I can tell you that I'm a person that have traveled a lot. I didn't visit like now it's trendy, like all the country all over the world, but I'm around 50 countries. I need to calculate better, but like I'm around 50 countries. And I have never had an obsession with China. Honestly, it was like, okay, another country, a big other country there in the area. I can say you that since 4 years ago, I'm obsessed with Asia in general, but I was not calculating China. Why? Because like, I'm a girl that loves this kind, honestly, I'm like this, so I can say this. I'm a girl that loves this kind of trip where also there is a like relax, beautiful blue beaches, like amazing water and everything. So I never thought that China can offer something like this. And when I want to go to vacation, because I travel a lot, but I don't travel the entire time of my life. So I still have my life and then I travel a lot. I was thinking I still want to have this kind of vacation. I still want to have a little bit of tropical and everything. But, after deciding where to travel, one time I say, okay, now it's the time for my husband to decide. And he was like already probably 2 years telling me, let's go to China, let's go to China, let's go to China. And I always say, no, let's go to, I don't know, we went to Polynesia, let's go there, let's go Indonesia, let's go. I always decided to do something else, also because the moment when we could travel were always a moment in which in China the weather is fine, but it's not hot. And I like hot tropical weather. So that also was all the reasons. But after years and years telling me, let's go to China, let's go to China, let's go to China, I say to him, okay, let's go to China. We will go to China, but you need to plan, tell me where, when, and everything, okay? He is not really well planned, and usually I'm the person who plan, but planning a trip to China is honestly not easy. And I want to share with you all my suggestions for a person who's gonna go for the first time to China. If you've already been, you already know everything, but since when I have this freaking obsession with China. So at the end of the story about going to China, we arrive in China mid-November. Mid-November is like a moment in which in some areas it's still warm because China is huge, so it has still a tropical area. But we want to enter and visit also not just the tropical area, we want to see a little bit of what is called like simple China or the usual entrance to China. So we arrived to Shanghai. Honestly, our first itinerary, it's crazy. I never heard someone to do something like this, but I think it's one of the best itinerary we have ever done. I can share with you totally. It's something different. I never heard something like this. I always heard like Beijing, Shanghai, Xi'an, and Zhangjiajie or something like this. Anyway, and then I say, okay, let's go, let's do it. It was not that I was not totally in the mood, but I was like, I want to have good weather. It was the only thing I want to have good weather. And I didn't have any kind of rain, but I was not expected when we were in Nanjing, that I love Nanjing. Oh my God, probably it's one of my favorite cities where I've been, Nanjing. We had like 2 Celsius degrees and I started to wear like many things. But beside of this, it doesn't matter. I don't know, like my expectation probably were not huge, but I really wanted to visit something that gave me like a little bit of shock. Okay. So when I visited for the first time Asia was in Thailand, and I was expecting to have this kind of shock in Thailand. And when I came back, I love Thailand, but I didn't felt this shock. I don't know, like, okay, it's cool, it's beautiful, amazing. Then you get any kind of shock. They speak in English, amazing. And in China, you arrive and you are gonna have this shock. The first days, even for someone that travel a lot, the first days are gonna be like, the first at least hour. If you're a person that travel a lot, at least hours or one day. How can I pay? Does it work? How can I take this? Oh, the map doesn't work. Blah, 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 blah. There are so many things that don't work. I don't know. So first of all, I love this kind of uncomfortable sensation. But besides of this, I think slowly fall in love with China. I love Shanghai. I love where we went to Suzhou. Even the first day in Suzhou, that's close to Shanghai. I wake up early in the morning with no people, and I just went by myself around with no people. It was like, what is this? I was almost crying for how beautiful it was. So slowly, like, oh, that's beautiful, that's amazing, oh my God, and also the other thing that it's really, really, really safe. It's affordable, it's safe. The people are, in Italian we would say, colorful. What that means in colorful, I would say that they want to be part of your trip. They are coming to you. They are curious. I have something happen to me in the last trip. It was amazing with 2 little girls, two really young girls coming to me, but this is another story. So there are many reasons why I fall in love with China, but the main thing, the most important thing, it was not in love with China before. And probably I could say this is my fault. In Western world, our expectation for China were low. It's starting, like people are starting to go and are showing, like I'm showing how beautiful the country is. And I visited 25 places, something like this, or 20 places. And there is much more to discover. Also, I'm sure that China has negative things like smoking and other things, but every country it has. I'm from Italy. It's not everything beautiful here. I don't know if you have been, but it is like this. So I don't know. I spoke a lot, but I think that the reason why I fall in love with China is because the expectations are much lower than what you really will find them there. How people are, how beautiful the place is, and open and closed parentheses. I don't know how really rural China is, so I can speak for what I saw, but I've been not just in big city. I've been also in smaller places, and I like them. This is an obsession. And I think I'm gonna go back and back to China in the next years, many times. I want to visit so many different places. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the Western China, that I don't know if really the logistics is so easy as in the other part. But that is, long story short, why I fall in love with this country.
看完这些，你还觉得这只是几个外国博主的感性告白吗？不，这是现实。当我们的移动支付、公共交通和社区服务已经像空气一样自然时，对他们来说，这却是梦寐以求的未来。这种回不去了的痛苦，恰恰说明了谁才是真正站在时代前沿的国家。他们不舍的不是风景，而是那种被世界温柔对待的高效生活。大家怎么看这种中国式阶段反应？评论区聊聊。我是小满，我们下期见。